Who needs fraudulent driving licenses to vote in elections when birth tourism promises babies born on American soil get to vote? Think about it. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And speaking of silly voting things, fettuccine and the federal elections. I know, trust me, stand by. And the roach and the reporter. What a great story. Funny video. It's all coming up. Good morning. Happy Monday. This is the Jay Sheldon Show, and we are live on Rumble and also live on YouTube. Wherever you may be watching us, thank you for doing that. Hang on. We got a lot coming up. Stick with us. Now, if you're on Rumble, hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything, and helps out the show, which we really appreciate. Thank you for doing that. Hope your weekend was good. Mine was okay, not too bad. Kind of, no big deal. Just a weekend, but a weekend is good. All right. Now, here's the question. Who needs a fake driver's license to vote when Birthright Citizen gives you the promise of being able to vote? You're an American, baby. One of the biggest revelations from Trump's big declassified election document dump last Thursday was a report that indicated that the Chinese Communist Party acquired and exploited American voter data, and that influenced hugely the 2020 election. Hey, Marilyn, good morning. One FBI information report released has alleged that China manufactured tens of thousands of fraudulent driver's licenses using data that was harvested from millions of TikTok accounts. You see why I do not now, nor will I ever have a TikTok account. I actually did start one, and then I just got rid of it. I used a burner phone and had an account, and it was just too much of a pain in the ass, so I just dumped it. Didn't give it any information, but there is a Jay Sheldon Show TikTok out there somewhere, unless they've stolen my data and deleted it by now. Anyway, this whole deal of stealing the data from TikTok accounts and then making the fake driving licenses was to ensure that non-citizens, which are like Chinese students and immigrants sympathetic to authoritarian regimes, would be able to send in mail-in votes for Joe Biden in 2020. This, at the moment, just an allegation, is big time alarming, but not as alarming as the fact that over the next few decades, China could hack U.S. elections without ever breaking the law, without risking any punishment, and without even so much as raising an eyebrow of the intelligence community. How? Well, thank you, Supreme Court of the United States of America. Their birthplace citizenship ruling, which is total BS. The CCP doesn't need to make fake IDs and fake driver's licenses to sway votes in favor of Democrats. They don't have to. All they have to do is take advantage of America's elections is using birth tourism, which is a whole industry, folks. There are companies and people set up in business to get your pregnant ass over to America just in time to give birth. How convenient. They're basically manufacturing babies that are Americans, and they're 100%, thank you, Supreme Court, entitled to real American IDs as soon as they're born in the U.S. Here's your social security number. Here's your ID. You're an American citizen. Then they get on a plane and they hop their little fat ass back to China, and all is good, and they continue to live their life, but they are American citizens officially. China is already known as the top exploiter of U.S. birth tourism. A 2024 report claimed, listen to this, Chinese nationals made up 41.7% of the surrogacy contracts between foreigners and American women between 2014 and 2020. Almost half, almost 50%. During that same time period, foreigners' use of the American birthplace citizenship surrogacy scheme increased by 78%. At that rate, the CCP could ballot harvest an entire generation of Americans who are sold to any foreigner rich enough to rent a U.S. woman's womb. And you just know they're out there waiting with the for rent sale sign there. Get that baby's U.S. paperwork, whisk the child back to China, because the Supreme Court ruled that if an infant is born on magic U.S. dirt, that child's entitled to all the rights of an American child, including the right to cast a ballot in an overseas citizen voter. They don't even need to come back to the U.S. They can just mail it in. The way I vote, because I live in Malaysia. I vote every election, but they don't even have to go back to the U.S. They just have to be born here. First day, next day, get on the plane back to China, off you go. And they've got every right to do it just as much as you or I do. They've already proven they can completely infiltrate American universities, installing spies, posing as students or professors, stealing U.S. research, stealing U.S. trade secrets, according to a whole bunch of declassified memos from an unknown sensitive government agency, they're calling it. China's developed capabilities ahead of the 2020 election to encourage, among other hot button issues, violent demonstrations like Black Lives Matter riots on both social media and in corporate media. This birthplace citizen, I know we've been talking a lot about it, but folks, this is a big, big deal. A big deal. It's promised China the opportunity to prime political interference in children even younger than college students and online addicted teens. For the CCP, violating America's sovereignty starts in the cradle. It starts the day the baby was born. You don't have to harvest any TikTok data. Something has got to be done. The Supreme Court needs to relook at this ruling and make some changes, because this is bullshit. This is unbelievably bad news. It's just gotta stop. It's got to. We have to change this ruling. Insane. Let's lighten it up a little bit, because the FIFA World Cup has ended. Spain has won against Argentina 1-0 in the extra time. But I'm not playing game highlights. I don't do sports on this show. What I do is when President Trump personally awards the FIFA World Cup trophy in this case to Spain, fist pumping with the team. This easily was the best World Cup in history. America made it happen. Take a look. All right, where is my sound? Where is my sound? Let's try it again.
Here in North America. And they traveled from Atlanta to Guadalajara to LA to Dallas and here to New Jersey. One final act on this incredible summer of soccer for Rodri to lift the trophy and for the celebrations to begin both here and overseas. And when Rodri's ready, here we go. Spain have won the World Cup.
Wow. Well, that Argentina player didn't look very happy, did he? Oh man, like I said, easily, folks, this was the best World Cup. I know we're in America. We don't care about football, what we call soccer. The rest of the world calls football. But it is an amazing sport. Some people say it's boring. I think it's fascinating. Now, I live in Malaysia, so we have a obsession with World Cups over here, like the most of the rest of the planet. But my favorite part, honestly, about the whole World Cup thing was all the stories about people from different parts of the world who were coming to America and discovering America and all the abundance and the wonderful things we have here, ranch dressing not aside. But honestly, what an absolutely brilliant story, and wow, fantastic. All right. From the sublime to the totally weird. And when I say totally weird, I mean squad member Ariana Presley. She is peripherally involved in a rather unusual story. You may have seen this headline. Let me just break it down for you briefly. A dead body was found at a house owned by Ariana Presley's husband. There is not a whole lot of information come out yet, but a corpse was found on Saturday at a Boston area property which is owned by Conan Harris, who is the husband of psychotic squad member Representative Ariana Presley from Massachusetts. That couple does not live in the house, they rent it out to tenants. Here's what we know at this moment, and not a lot of other stuff has come out. Police spokesman James Mocha told CBS News Boston officers were called to 25 Malta Street in Boston's Mattapan neighborhood about 1:25 p.m. for a report to investigate a person. When they arrived, they found that person deceased. Mocha did not have any further details, said it was a homicide. The homicide unit is handling the investigation. A Boston police cruiser has been seen outside the home, and it's been sealed off with red crime scene tape. Dead body found at Representative Ariana Presley's husband's home. Details developing. It hits her right in the district. This is her district. One thing that surprised me, apparently you can get a 7-bedroom house in Boston for $1.15 million. In California, that might get you a small closet. I've lived in Massachusetts. I lived in Springfield when I worked at Wacky 102 FM many, many years ago. And I didn't like it. I don't like Massachusetts. Sorry, Mass, just not a fan. Anyway, that is the story. Presley's husband, Conan Harris, listed as the owner. Property is assessed at $919,000. Currently, that property is for sale. It was built in 1910, asking price $1.15 million. Hell of a deal, if you don't count the possible ghost of a dead body found in the house. They're calling it a death investigation. Authorities have not linked Presley or her husband to the body. Couple's not made any kind of official statement as of now. And the details of the body, gender, name, cause of death, none of that has been released. So it's a developing story, and as it develops, we'll let you know what's going on. Very, very weird. All right. Here it is in this cup. Not only my favorite coffee, but it should be yours too, because it is just that amazing. Blackout coffee. It's all done in-house. They source premium specialty grade green coffee beans, which are graded at 80 points or above on a 100-point scale. Specialty coffees grown at the perfect altitude, the right time of year, the best soil, all harvested at exactly the right time. And they work with local co-ops and American farmers to grow this high-quality coffee. They work with local co-ops. They adopt a strict adherence to small batch roasting their coffee. Roasted, packed, and shipped with lightning speed. They only roast your beans after you place your order and then get them shipped out within 24 to 48 hours. That means in less than a week, you've got a fresh bag of the best beans on the planet. And if you cannot grind your own beans, the whole beans, that's okay. They will grind them for you. Those are the options you can pick on their website, which is in our description down below. Just pull down that menu. You'll see Blackout Coffee. Use that link and use the code J20 for 20% off your first order at Blackout Coffee. Try a single bag. It's all I ask. It's like $14-15. It's not that expensive. And trust me, you'll be back for more. I know you will. Flavors, cold brew, instant. They've got it all, and it's right there at the link in our description down below. Check it out. Blackout Coffee. Karen, definitely my favorite coffee. I say every morning with my first sip. You see, there you go. Thank you, Karen. No, seriously. I know they're a sponsor. I'm supposed to say nice things about them. It's easy to do because honestly, this coffee is just that good. Just like Karen said, you'll see thousands of these great reviews on their website. Use the link in our description. Oh, man, that's good. All right. What else? Oh, I decided to start a new segment, and it's kind of based on the clip I played on Friday with that berry gendered wackadoodle guy, girl, whatever the hell it was. And the title was Reopen the Asylums. And so in today's episode of Reopen the Asylum, a transgendered man with blue hair, goes berserk, screaming and yelling as police officers try to get him under control because, like I just did on purpose, they misgendered him. Officer, he's having a breakdown. Trans man, she, just say the right pronouns. And so in today's episode, this is 8 minutes long. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll just give you the highlight reel. Here is today's Please Reopen the Asylums.
What's the problem? Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here! If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice. Fucking try it. Are you threatening me? You're threatening me. Are you threatening me? I'm just... Because I'm here right now to deal with a stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling. I don't have time to constantly be abused. We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle. What do you mean OPD? Alpha 73 University.
Alpha 73?
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown. Say! Just say the right pronoun! What'd you say?
7351.
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed. No, just get down on the ground right now. Leave me alone! I can come in there. Leave me alone, please! Okay, are you gonna calm down? I'm getting my phone out. I have to film this. I'm telling you, are you gonna calm down? I will calm down. I will calm down. Do you know what this is? I will calm down when you get the pepper spray out of my face. Alpha 73. Leave me alone. I have just please pepper spray. Please, just stop pointing the pepper spray at me. I will calm down if you do that. Stop threatening me. Yeah, lower your voice.
Today's episode of Please Reopen the Asylums. Oh, yeah. This is the kind of crap that cops have to put up with virtually every day. I will continue to find these videos and continue to bring them to you under the title of Please Reopen the Asylums, okay? Because we really do have to. We really do. This report, which is from where? I don't know if it's News Nation. It's the Clay Buck Show, I believe. But apparently, we have reached the point in society where getting access to fettuccine at Olive Garden is vastly more secure than deciding who is going to be the commander-in-chief of the country. Listen to this.
There's a post on X that's going viral right now where a customer, this is a real thing, a customer at the Olive Garden was setting a question to Olive Garden management asking if their all-you-can-eat summer pass could be shared with their family members. And the Olive Garden corporate replied, and they said, no, your card has a barcode that relates solely to you, and you must present a photo ID with your all-you-can-eat pasta pass in order to access all-you-can-eat pasta. So we've reached the point as a society where access to fettuccine at Olive Garden is vastly more secure than deciding who is commander-in-chief of the country.
Yeah, we're there. We are officially there. In order to use your customer card at Olive Garden, you need to show an ID. You don't, apparently now, to be able to vote for who is the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief of our military. No need. Oh, it's okay. But if you want to get fettuccine at Olive Garden, no, sorry. I need an ID. Very nice. Very nice. It almost qualifies as a reopen the asylums, please story. Hey, this is a weird one. I've actually had this story held up for a couple of days. Didn't get to it. We're going to get to it now. You just cannot be serious. You can't make this shit up. Honestly, Virginia's school board Virginia, the school board is refusing to drug test teachers after a classroom fentanyl overdose. No, I'm not kidding. Virginia School Board voted 4-3 to protect teachers from the indignity of drug testing. 2 years after a second grade teacher overdosed on fentanyl in her own classroom in front of the students. Spotsylvania County Special School Board rejected both a proposal covering all new hires and rehires with direct student contact and a narrower version limited to employees working with elementary and special ed students. Rich Lieberman, Larry DeBella, Loretta Daniels, all board members supported the testing requirements. 4 of their colleagues voted against them. Superintendent Clint Mitchell urged the board to vote no at a cost of roughly $25,000 a year. He argued the district would lose teachers to neighboring counties. Yeah, so at least they wouldn't be fentanyl addicts having a overdose in a classroom of 2-year-olds. Here's what he said to the board. Implementing such a program would completely negate the work that we've done over the last 18 months, plus in the school division on teacher retention. I guarantee you our neighbors, whether it's Stafford, Frederickson City, Caroline, Louisa, Orange County, Culpeper, Prince William, they're looking for you to implement such a policy. And he continued, you think we have a problem hiring and retaining people and filling positions? You'll have vacancies because no one will want to work here. Really, which would mean, if you carry that out to the full extension of what you must mean, that all teachers are drug addicted? If you're not drug addicted, what fear would you possibly have of having a drug test? Makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Spotsylvania could require a criminal background check, professional credentials, fingerprints, but a basic drug screen for cocaine, opiates, PCP, amphetamines, though that's an existential threat to the hiring pipeline. We can't have that. What Mitchell did not address was the incident that prompted this whole proposal in the first place. May 2024, a rehired second grade teacher OD'd on fentanyl in her classroom at Spotswood Elementary. She was convicted of possessing drugs at school, being intoxicated in class. She got a 2-year prison sentence. Lieberman said, we had a problem 2 years ago with a rehired teacher who within a few months OD'd in her classroom in an elementary school. The kids couldn't go back in there for a week. I knew one of the families, and it's 2 years later, and the kids are still traumatized by the whole thing. DeBella said Spotsylvania, Pennsylvania, should not wait for another Virginia school division to act first. I don't think it's wrong to be the first one to do the right thing. Yes, no other Virginia school districts does drug tests on non-CDL employees. Fairfax County, Prince William County, Alexandra City confirmed they do not test teachers. School bus drivers, they get tested, but that's because it's a federal rule. They hold safety-sensitive positions. What? You think a teacher doesn't hold a safety sensitive position? 6, 8 hours a day with your kids in their classroom? You want them all hyped up on fentanyl? Over the past 8 years, 8 different prospective Spotsylvania drivers were denied employment, and 4 were terminated after they failed their drug tests. That's a big percentage. Board Chair Megan Jackson cited Fourth Amendment concerns and noted teachers are not legally classified as safety sensitive under Virginia law. Well, then there's something wrong with Virginia law. Medawar, 30 years veteran teacher, called pre employment testing insulting. It's a dignity thing. Shut up. Children who spent a week barred from their own classroom, cleaned up after the teacher's overdose, not available to weigh in on the dignity question, and now sitting here 2 years later are still traumatized by what they saw. The board was, however, willing to spend $200,000 to implement the FBI's Rap Back program, which continuously monitors employees' criminal histories. 4 members drew the line, though, at spending roughly $25,000, requiring new teachers to prove they're not using cocaine or opiates or PCP or amphetamines before they enter a classroom with your children. Nice job, Virginia. Nice job. You should absolutely be ashamed. Unbelievable. All right, pure good news, I promise, because we need some. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States of America, and his wife, Usha, have welcomed a baby boy to the Vice President's residence. Wow. So that would make this let's see, he's the Vice President, she's the Second Lady. That would make the baby the second son. Whatever. Anyway, he took to X to announce the birth of his 4th child with the Second Lady of the United States, Usha Vance. He posts, "We're excited to announce our baby boy, Alec Neil Vance, was born this morning. Usha and the baby are happy and healthy, and our kids are overjoyed to meet their little brother. The incredible military doctors and staff members of Walter Reed Medical Center and the White House Medical Unit have been a blessing. We are deeply thankful for all they have done for our family." Alec will join his brothers, 9-year-old Ewan and 6-year-old Vivek, a 4-year-old sister Mirabelle, in the Vice President's residence. Second couple announced in February they were expecting and that it would be a boy. We knew that already. Vance, one of the cabinet members who filled in for Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt while she was on maternity leave after the birth of his little girl. Not to be outdone, I love this guy. He's got such a cool sense of humor. But take a look at what he had to say. It's funny.
Guys. So with that, I will say thank you all. It's cool to be here. I'm going to give a shout out, of course, to the person I am replacing today, Carolyn Leavitt, who hopefully is at home enjoying some time with her beautiful kids. I told Carolyn I would stand in for her today for the White House press briefing on the condition that when Usha has our baby in July, that she would be vice president for a couple weeks. So thank you, guys.
Like I said, I love this guy. Now, needless to say, she is not standing in as the vice president. Now, listen to this. This is fascinating. The last time a baby was born in the midst of a presidential term was under Republican President Ulysses S. Grant. Yeah, that long ago. Vice President Schuler Colfax and his wife, Second Lady Ellen Colfax, welcomed their son, Schuler Colfax III, in April of 1870. Wow! Well over 100 years ago. Holy crap! 150 years ago. Vance, of course, a huge advocate for families and life. Becoming vice president, he's twice been the keynote speaker at the March for Life in Washington. In 2025, Vance said, "Let me say very simply, I want more babies in the U.S. I want more happy children in our country, and I want more beautiful young men and women who are eager to welcome them into the world and eager to raise them. It's the task of our government to make it easier for moms and dads to afford to have kids and bring them into the world and welcome them as the blessings that we know that they are here at the March for Life." And certainly the Vances are doing their part. Wow. What a great story, and a huge congratulations to Usha and JD. All right. Who provides your mobile service? I'll just bet it's Patriot Mobile, because they are the best.
When you choose Patriot
at
Mobile,
what they
you're not
do.
just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
PatriotMobile.com/J, J-A-Y. That is the link. It's in our description. And get yourself signed up over there. You keep your phone, you keep your phone number. Nothing changes except the people who run the company that you send your money to every month. They are a Christian conservative company that cares about the stuff you and I hold near and dear to our hearts. And that's the kind of people you want to support. They give none of their profits to the left or any of those kind of, wackadoodle organizations. They help to support the right to life, the First and Second Amendment. They're a great, great company. And you will get your first month free when you get signed up using our link, patriotmobile.com/J, J-A-Y. Use that link. Get signed up. Their customer service folks are fantastic. They're there to help you and put you in a plan you can afford that fits in your budget. They're not there to try and upsell you something you don't need or want. They really are fantastic. PatriotMobile.com/J. All right. I am live here on YouTube and Rumble. And as a live show, occasionally things happen that we don't expect. Light goes out, mic stops working, bug runs across the desk, I don't know, any number of things. What you're seeing, now there is a little bit of lag, so what you're seeing is happening maybe 5 or 6 seconds from the time I say it. It's Live. It's as live can be. The problem is sometimes when reporters are live, things don't go exactly the way you'd hope. And in this case, this reporter's reaction is absolutely incredible. When a giant roach lands on her in the middle of a live shot. Look, folks, insects own the earth. There is no two ways about it. That's just simply the facts. You don't believe me? Get this. Scientists estimate that at any given moment, there are an estimated 10 quintillion. That's a lot of zeros. 10 quintillion individual insects on this planet. That is a 10 followed by 18 zeros. You compare that to our puny little human population, which is about 8.3 billion at last check. We all have, of course, a primal instinct to try and avoid these little creepy crawly things. Sometimes, though, you just can't avoid it. New York City, you just get used to the occasional roach. Hopefully you don't get an infestation, although they do make your skin crawl. There are outdoor roaches, however, especially out in California, where their ancestors have been roaming this planet for about 300 plus million years. They have survived just about everything. Turkestan cockroaches, Oriental cockroaches, American cockroaches. The ones that sometimes will get in your house are, of course, always the big, disgusting, evil ones that fly. Oh, yeah. There's something deep-seated in our brains, I think, that causes us to recoil physically when we see these little bastards. Which is exactly why the reaction of this rather plucky LA newscaster is so incredible. A flying roach would terrify the hell out of most people, especially if it decided to fly and land on you. But when one came down on KTLA reporter Rachel Menitoff and started crawling around her chest and neck on live TV, she barely blinked. This is... just watch.
And it's a lot more comfortable at this hour, but we're still in the 80s here in the valley. So overnight temperatures not necessarily dropping, and this leads to less recovery time from the daytime heat.
Okay, wow, I have to hand it to her. She was really calm doing that.
I don't know if she knew that was there at that point.
So those fly?
Yeah, they do fly. That's like a flying cockroach.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's our Rachel Menitoff,
flying cockroach.
who is so professional. She kept her cool. There's no way I would have been able to keep my cool on this.
No way.
She probably wasn't sure what it was. You just know there's something.
Something large.
No.
At the end, I have to say I'm so relieved that it jumped onto the mic because it looked like it was going to crawl like
into her shirt or in her hair.
And I was like, oh,
in her
God.
mouth.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
No. And that's one of those things that several hours later you're still feeling it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You still feel.
I got the heebie-jeebies just watching this thing. I'm cringing just watching this footage. She was looking at the camera, so she couldn't see the close-up, luckily. But I'm telling you, I officially nominate this woman for the Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism, the Pulitzer, and just about every other journalism prize out there. She deserves it. You want to talk about cool under fire? She said after the broadcast she knew the cockroach had landed on her, but she made a conscious decision to stay focused until the report was finished. She said, I knew it was on me, but I knew if I took notice, I wouldn't be able to continue on with the report. So I said to myself, just get through it and then kind of shake it off. There is a major heat wave going on in Southern Cal, and therefore the cockroaches are going crazy. And these six-legged devil spawn, they dehydrate, they freak out. You're going to see a lot of them in your houses, especially if you're in Southern California, flying around looking for relief. If you do, I don't think you'll be able to, but try and stay as cool as Miss Mentenoff did, if it's possible. I don't think I could hold myself together like that. No way. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Oh, man. With summer here, a lot of people are headed out for holidays. Some people are headed out to the wilderness. We showed you that amazing bison footage with that grandpa who thankfully broke a bone or two, but was in general okay after the bison tossed him about 8 feet in the air. Well, got another one for you. Hikers survive a heart-stopping face-off, and man, is it, wait till you see this footage, with a mighty Alaskan bear. Now, apparently, park rangers know this bear. She even has a name. She's known as Scuba Sue. One thing for sure you don't want to do when you're hiking is come face to face with an enormous Alaskan bear. If they want to send you to the afterlife, they can. Oh, yeah, and they will. And they will do it with extreme prejudice. There was 3 folks hiking a narrow trail in the Annan Creek Wildlife Observatory in southeast Alaska just a few days ago, July 12th. And that's exactly what happened. They rounded a corner, and boom, there was Scuba Sue, the Alaskan bear, coming back from apparently hunting salmon in the river. They luckily did not get mauled. They did not get eaten. They were plenty scared. The 3 said that a quick briefing from a ranger before they set out may very well have saved their life. Here's one of the 3 victims, said, we'd actually been watching bears, hoping there were salmon coming up the river. We saw about 4 or 5 bears earlier. There were black bears, and then coming back on the trail, we had an unexpected encounter, said Dr. Michelle Lynn Thaler. Said right around the corner, and there's a grizzly bear. Now, I'm going to show you the video in a minute. It's amazing. It shows this bear getting up close and very personal. The group forced to talk to the bear and slowly back away to allow it room to pass. She says, oh, I was definitely terrified. You think? And then we remembered what the rangers told us, which was to be big, talk to the bear, keep it calm, and get out of the way. This is absolutely amazing. Watch and listen.
We're all fine. Hey, bear. Yep, everybody talk. There we go.
There you go.
Bear. Good bear. Whoop. Oops. Okay, we're all good. Everybody keep talking.
Hey, bear. Hey, bear.
It's nice to see you, bear. Good bear.
Thank you, bear. A routine hike in Alaska turned into a heart-pounding encounter when hikers found themselves face-to-face with a grizzly bear. Joining us now is Dr. Michelle Lynn Thaler, Tanya Thompson, and Tony Cutraro. I'm so glad to see all of you all in one piece, alive and well. Michelle, I'm sure you went out hoping you might get to see a bear, but maybe you weren't expecting quite that close-up of a look.
Absolutely. We were here at Annan Creek, and Annan Creek in southeast Alaska is a known bear place. It's a wildlife observatory, and we'd actually been watching bears, hoping that there were salmon coming up the river. We saw about 4 or 5 bears earlier. Those were black bears. And then coming back on the trail, we had an unexpected encounter. Right around the corner came this grizzly bear.
So I know that you're always told in brown bear country to make yourself big, talk loud, do not turn around and run. But I imagine it's probably a whole lot more difficult in reality, Tanya. What was going on in your head and in your gut when she was that close to you?
Was definitely terrified. And then we remembered what the rangers told us, which was what you said, to be big, talk to the bear, keep it calm, and get out of its way. And that's what we were doing. Was there was no place where we met the bear to get off the path. So we had to back up a little bit in order to get off so she could run forward.
So
unbelievable. Wow. They said they were especially concerned because the salmon run had gotten off to a late start, and perhaps little Scuba Sue might have decided that, I'm a little tired of salmon. They aren't running so fast. Maybe I could use a little variety in my menu. Anyway, the ranger gave him the right advice. Don't turn your back. Whatever you do, by the way, I know the instinct in you, the survival part of you says to run. Do not run. That is the quickest way for them to come after you, and they will. You might consider you prey at that point. They will overtake you without a problem, and they will unalive you in a New York minute. You are not as fast as you think you are. Even Usain Bolt could not outrun one of these suckers. Make yourself look big. Make some loud noises. Don't be aggressive. Don't be screaming at the bear. But be loud. Talk to him just like they did. Hey, good bear, nice bear, good to see you. Kind of cheerful, jolly, loud voices. To get to the question that I'm sure everyone has been asking since we started this insane story, why would a bear be called Scuba Sue? Well, glad you asked, because the answer is actually equally as fascinating. Whatever it takes. Wow. Unbelievable. Scuba Sue, who manages to dive right under the water and come out with a good mouthful of salmon. That's insane. That is crazy. All right. Hey, we're wrapped up for a Monday. Thanks, folks. We're live on Rumble and YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Rumble. Hit up our sponsors, Patriot Mobile, Blackout Coffee, all those great folks over there. And we really appreciate that. If you want to donate directly to the show, you can do that at our PayPal link. Any amount would be appreciated. Helps keep every penny goes to keeping this show free and keeping the lights on around here. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.